All right, welcome to the Nate Real Midwest Podcast, Season 2, Episode, let me say it correctly, Episode 2. Episode 1 was tomorrow. Today is Episode 2. I am so glad that I'm with you guys today, and let's get this thing started. Now, there is breaking news that is happening in the state of Minnesota. Governor Walz, or as most people like to call him, Tampon Tim, has dropped out of the race for his third term. He is finished and done. Congratulations, Nick Shirley. I am so glad that I got to work with you on everything and stuff. So happy about a fight well done. Congratulations, sir. I'm so glad I got to meet you. Um, Everybody's wondering, how does Nathaniel M. Olson feel with being on Fox News and now Tim Walz dropping out? Let me tell you how I feel and stuff. I feel like Tim Walz could have had a very open and honest relationship and stuff with people that were um wanted to vote for him. I don't understand why people wanted to vote for him. I don't. I wanted to vote. I really don't understand that. That's going to be it. I don't. And then people say, yes, I would vote for this man again. Okay, here's the problem I have if you want to vote for this man again. The fraud that this man is committing right now is outrageous. It's literally outrageous, okay? Yeah, he's all in with the fraud. The Department of Human Services is all in with the fraud. Okay, this is my question. Do you guys really believe that the Department of Human Services gives a frick about this fraud? Do you guys believe that? Do you guys believe one bit that um, the Department of Human Services is with, um, like I said, like I said, care about this fraud? I don't think at all. I don't think one bit at all that people like him, like Governor Walz and the Department of Human Services, cares about this fraud. Not one bit. And that's really sad because for the excuses that they're making, it's not okay. And when I'm saying it is not okay, I know when it's not okay. All right? I know when people can be so naive on something and look at something with its eyes and figure out, oh, hey, we have this figured out. We care about the American people. We care about the Minnesota people. We care about what is going on. But when we are sitting, okay, we're sitting and looking at stuff by its agenda. And then what I mean by agenda, okay, it's they are sitting here and what came out of Timothy Walz's mouth is, oh, it's the white people's fault. Yeah. What? Uh, okay. It's the white people's fault? It's like I'm holding up this phone and saying, oh, it's the Apple's fault that's not letting me, um, because my phone is frozen. It's the white people's fault? What? Am I understanding this right? What? Our governor of Minnesota has nothing that he can do to hold himself accountable. His speech. I haven't listened to his speech. Do you guys want to listen to his speech? I'm really curious about his speech. I really am. I really am. His speech was probably ridiculous, disgusting, and probably so interviewed like, oh, I'm going to drop out of the race. Of course you're going to drop out of the freaking race. What are we supposed to expect? What are we supposed to expect from you? You dropped out of the race. You gave your speech. And, well, everybody knows why he dropped out of the race. He dropped out of the race because he didn't like the pressure that was coming in. I can't even find his speech. This is crazy. He didn't like the pressure of him coming in, the pressure from the federal government. I don't think he liked the pressure of me saying enough is enough and our governor isn't doing anything about it. And while he sits here and blames Donald J. Trump, his next goal of people to blame was the Department of Human Services. That's what his next goal was probably going to blame. Walz has a tendency to not be held accountable for something. He has a tendency so yes, words of Amy is going to run, then appoint him as her Amy Klobuchar as governor of Minnesota. I don't think so. That has to be a freaking joke. If Amy Klobuchar, yeah, tell me where that is coming. Amy Klobuchar, that is, thank you. You guys, I can read from the stream, but the word is that Amy is going to run and then appoint him as her replacement until 2030. Oh my gosh. Thank you for that compliment. I am laughing so hard. I wish, darn it. I mean, that so Amy wins, replaces him, and then Amy Klobuchar is our governor. That's just thinking how worse Minnesota would actually get if Amy Klobuchar was our governor. Just imagine, this woman does not know how to speak. She cannot speak on anything, and she entered the race, and Minnesotans love her. Well, let's let's look at this, okay? She quits being the Minnesota senator, okay? We look at Royce White, that is leading pretty much. Let's go look at the Minnesota 24 elections. Let's just go look at the map. Let's look at the map quick. I think the map's going to be pretty interesting for you guys. Should we do that? Shares. Let's go look at the map. Okay, here we go. All right. Let's look at this map right here and what we are. I'm just gonna switch into my smaller thing. So now they sure do have wolves in their eyes. Okay, so let's look at this map right here. What I'm trying to point is right here. Let's look at that. So this explains everything. Royce White flipped 26 counties. Mankato went red. Rochester went red. So you can see Minnesota is mostly red, but the cities are the ones that we have the problem and stuff. That is the problem with, yeah, Royce Wright is running for Tina's spot. Exactly. But the problem is with the red, you can see he flipped 26 counties. He flipped Rochester and he flipped Mankato. He flipped other 26 counties, but if he can flip more, I think he has a chance defeating Tina Smith in everything. That's just my opinion. So you can see Minnesota is mostly red, but it's just Hennepin County is the one that is the problem. And Trump did really well in Hennepin County. Um, in my opinion, I believe that uh, I don't think Minnesota would go red. I really don't think so. Now, excuse me, I don't think Minnesota would go blue. I'm sorry. I really don't think so. I think Minnesota would. I think Minnesota's trying slowly waking up because Nick Shirley and I pushed um, Walz to his freaking limit, and I think he's angry of everything. Oh yeah, he's way better. Exactly. I like Royce White, but it's different what I believe in, you know. So everything that I've second guessed. So yeah, it's a very interesting um pattern. Very interesting pattern. So I'm reading something off of my phone. Um, Very interesting. I should read this very carefully and very discreetly. Um, what Tim Walz said. I just wanted to read this. And it's very interesting what he said. So, um, today I'm so this is what he said. And I think this is the joke. This is a joke. And the reason why I'm going to say this is a joke, ladies and gentlemen, there is no way that this man can sit here and pose this this idea of what he just posted. And ladies and gentlemen, this is what he just posted. Ridiculous. It's just solely ridiculous. Um, Let me make that much easier for you guys to see. Um, I'm gonna read it from my phone. You guys can read it from the um um screen. Today, Minnesota has to come first, always. Okay, first of all, false. Minnesota has never became first. Okay, today I am proud of the work we have done to make Minnesota the best place to live and raise kids. I decided to step out of the race and let others worry about the election while I focus on work. Huh! Okay, first of all, let's make something clear here, mister. Minnesota never came first. You never cared about the Minnesota people because if you did, we would never have this much fraud in the United States of America. I mean, in Minnesota. So don't play your semantics while you are saying that Minnesota Minnesota itself came first. That semantics is not the game that we're going to play. Ladies and gentlemen, you saw it. I'm proud for the work we have done to make Minnesota the best place to live with our kids. I want to make something very sensuous here and very clear for the people who think that Tim Walz is a great governor before we end the podcast. Governor Walz has made Minnesota a living hell. And when I mean a living hell, this man has no sympathy for the Minnesota people. If there was fraud happening for disability people being taken advantage. So please, do not play with me and saying that Tim Walz cares. He has not done as well as the state of Minnesota when there's a $9 billion deficit in the state, where $9 billion of fraud was used. That is the problem that I have with Democrats, okay? That is the problem right here. That is the problem that we have. That is the problem that we're seeing. And it's wrong. It's muggracious. It's people saying that Governor Walz should not be held accountable, but we're going to be blaming President Trump. Like I said, all the stuff that you guys want to happen and have happening is here. The people that want these illegal immigrants, the people that need these illegal immigrants, want these people to come here. It's okay for them. But Trump is the problem when ICE is coming to clean up our cities. Trump is the problem when we have a $6 billion deficit. I don't really understand. I don't understand why this is such a big deal. Such a big deal, right? And you people can just not stop blaming Trump. I really think TDS is a mental illness. I'm sorry. I really do. But what Biden did for the presidency was really good. Okay? There was no criticizing for Biden. Biden is doing a really good job. He's a Democrat running our country. Criticism? Okay, no criticism. Okay. That's fine. So when the fraud was happening in the state of Minnesota, you really think Biden was doing a really great job? I can't understand why people want to take Walz's side. Why? Let me make something clear for the people that want to vote Democrat and the people that want to blame Donald J. Trump. I hope you know, if none of these ICS homes gets cleaned up and this fraud stops, a lot of these people are going to be homeless because some of these people do not have families. So before you want to blame Donald J. Trump, you have a bed to sleep in, and that bed is not going to be taken away. Some of these people's beds are temporarily right now. They're trying to find more services. So before you want to before you want to blame Donald J. Trump on everything and blame everything on him, I kind of want you guys to step aside and take a break for a bit of the politics and just think what could happen to these disability people that could go homeless. This is very, very traumatic. There's no joke, there's no laughing matter about this, there's nothing at all. What this could be is something much worrisome, and people should be worried. But no, that doesn't matter to you guys, doesn't it? That doesn't matter. Those people do not matter to you because it's not Trump. It's not Trump that is taking aside everything, right? It's not Trump who's trying to make America great again. It's not Trump who's trying to save us from drug trafficking. Oh, no. Disability people doesn't matter because we have to blame Trump on everything. Disability people in the state of Minnesota doesn't matter because every post I have to read is about a dictator called Trump. It doesn't matter to you, but wait, hold on 1 second. It only matters when you're affected because of one of your family members. That's only when it matters to you. There's no post on social media is how can we help the disabled people because this fraud is so much. Nope. You know what the post that I'm seeing on social media? Blaming Trump for this, blaming Trump for that, blaming for once in your life. For once in your life, I have a question. For once in your life, can you not blame Donald Trump for everything? Can you? Yes or no? Can you not blame Donald Trump for everything? Can you stop with this blame and look what really is happening in the state of Minnesota? Put your politics aside for once. Stop posting blaming stuff on Trump and look and think. Some of these people could become homeless if we don't solve this fraud. But somebody with a feeding tube who was homeless that can't take care of themselves could die in this winter cold. But that doesn't care to you. What only cares to you is blaming Donald J. Trump. That is the problem that I'm seeing. That is the problem that I'm listening to all over social media. Put aside Donald J. Trump for once. Put aside him. And just look and think and listen. Because if you want, in the state of Minnesota, blame Donald J. Trump for everything, and there's over 600,000 people with disabilities in the state of Minnesota that could suffer, and you can't hold Walz accountable, tells me what a type of person you are, and it tells me that you don't care about these disability people as much as I do. Because I will do everything to keep fighting for these people, because I do not want them to go homeless. And nobody thinks about that. Nobody does. It's like people don't care about humanity anymore. They don't care about people in their community no more. What they care about is blaming Donald J. Trump. That's what they care about. It's really sad. It really is. It's just heart-wrenching to me to think that this is happening in our state. But nobody's going to care for people with disabilities. I pray that you guys have your eyes opened up Um, that's all that I have to say. All right, a couple announcements that are coming in today for you people. Um, justicewithoutlimits.org. I encourage people to go look at that. We have Amy Klobuchar says she'll likely run for governor. Keith Ellison is probably going to be taking his place. Where I could bury Keith Ellison in so much stuff. Mike Lindell got his endorsement from Trump. What else? There is a debate going on January 20th, and I will hopefully be there with the Republican nominees. Mike Lindell with there. It is $25 per person. 4 seats are available right now, you guys. Make sure you guys are getting your tickets. So I will be ordering my tickets pretty soon. That is January 20th. So pretty soon. You have 15 days to order your tickets. I need to order my tickets. So I will be there. Hopefully I'll be singing national anthem, but I will keep you guys posted on that. So that is the announcements that I have for the end of my podcast. I am so glad that you guys are here with me. Let's keep this going, and it looks like we might be having a podcast tomorrow with special guest, or tonight. I'll keep you posted on that announcement. Just keep watching some stuff that are coming down. So that is the announcement for major events. That is it. I will probably have more announcements coming for you guys. I'll probably have weather for all of your guys' states pretty soon coming up, that you guys know what's going on. So that is the end of the Nate Real Midwest podcast season 2. I cannot wait to have these special guests. Hopefully we'll be having them maybe later tonight or tomorrow. So I will see you guys on the flip side. God bless. And always stay strong. And we are done with the fraud. This is the Nate Real Midwest podcast. And Nathaniel M. Olson is signing out. God bless you guys. Happy New Year.